Welcome to the Sports Bash pre-show presented by Nicolak Paving Stones, located in Lindenhurst here on Long Island. Nicolak has the broadest collection and designs of hardscape for your home. For a free consultation and to book an appointment, call 631-669-0700. Good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined by Vinny Tickets. Later on in the show, phone number to call is 631-451-1039. Coming up on the show, we'll have the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. We'll also have this day in sports history. But first, I say good morning to Vinny Tickets.
And we say good morning back, Peter.
Well, thank you very much. And it was a big weekend of sports. The Olympics wound down. The men's and women's basketball teams both win the gold. The women barely by 1 point yesterday. We can get into that a little bit later. The Yankees take 2 out of 3. The Mets get swept, almost went scoreless in Seattle over the weekend. I think there was a movie made about that, scoreless in Seattle. But the Mets did get a run in the game last night on the Jeff McNeil home run. But I think when you think about all of us here on the show and what we did over the weekend, the highlight of the weekend was the Vinny Tickets family spending an afternoon at Yankee Stadium on Saturday.
Yeah, so I'm rocking my my volunteer gear today in honor of my son returning back to volunteer land down in Knoxville. So he left yesterday. So on Saturday, as his going away, we treated the family, my wife and I treated the family to a Yankee game.
That was fantastic. So you sat how many rows back? That was like 4? 3?
Yeah.
3, 4?
We were slumming in the fourth
row. We were having an off-the-air conversation about this because a few weeks ago, my family and I sat in the second row in the legend seats, tickets that I got from WFAN. And there was an incident where, not an incident, but a representative of the Yankees brought programs, about the 6th or 7th inning, brought programs and started handing them out to the people in the first row. And I said, oh, wow, we're going to get programs out of this too. We had all that food before the game and during the game, and now we're going to get, the free program. So the guy stops giving them out after everybody in the first row gets it. And somebody from like the 4th or the 5th row says, hey, can I get a program? And the guy goes, no, they're only for the first row. And I'm thinking to myself, what's the difference between the first row and the second row? And as we discussed before the show, about $250 in face value. So my question was, aside from the $250, what is the difference sitting in the first row and the second row? What else do you get for the money?
I think
you had no less fun sitting in the fourth row, right?
Great day. Yeah. I think the difference is probably about 18 inches.
18, that's it.
Yeah.
To me, again, we were having this discussion. Like, to me, there is no difference in the view of the game you have between the first and second. But as you said, there is a status symbol effect to it.
Yes, absolutely. And it goes for any venue. There is something to be said about being king of the hill. King of the hill is front row on the railing. It's the very first row. And the people that are in that front row, they know there is nobody in that building that has a better seat than them.
Well, I would dispute that. They could think that all they want. I would dispute that. If you sat, well, listen, people can say they can sit in the first row at a hockey game and say, I sat in the first row.
That's not so good.
And granted, we did that for an Islander game this year. We had a spotlight suite for one of the games, and it was a great experience to do it. But for the most part, as a hockey fan, you don't want to sit in the first row. And I would argue that the seats we sat in, the legend seats, I would argue sitting in the middle level, just in the same spot on the field, just past third base, is every bit as good, if not better, than sitting in the second row all the way down. So I don't get this whole $250 difference between sitting in the first row and the second row.
I get it.
Right. I understand you get it. You're an entrepreneur and it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, for the poor schlump like me, like if I had a chance to buy tickets for that, I'm like I would take the extra $250 and go see a Broadway show instead of sitting in the first row at the Yankee game.
Yeah, I guess when you're spending that kind of money, you just, it's never about $200.
Yeah.
It's also a little bit of status, I guess, involved there.
But the bottom line is the Tickets family had a good time.
Yes, the Ticket family had a great time.
That's awesome. See, that's what we want to talk about. And tomorrow, the Schwartz family will have a great time at Jets training camp. We have VIP for Jets training camp tomorrow, so that'll be nice. We're coming back with the star of the show for our radio audience right now.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
Welcome to Sports Bash, brought to you by TicketBash.com and also by the Embassy Diner, located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, where every customer is considered family. Mention Sports Bash. Get a free dessert with your meal. Sports Bash is also brought to you by the offices of Dr. Anthony Ippolito at Chiropractic Care Plus, located at 1 John Street in Babylon. Chiropractic Care Plus, the only choice when searching for a Long Island chiropractor. Give Dr. Ippolito a call at 631-669-6221. By the Marty Lyons Foundation, the official charity of Sports Bash Media. The third annual Bowling for Wishes event is coming up August 23rd at Levittown Lanes in Levittown. For more details and to purchase tickets, go to martylyonsfoundation.org. And by Collaborate Studios, a content marketing production facility. For more info, call them at 516-509-8277. Good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined by Vinny Tickett, 631-451-1039, the number to call. Later on in the show, we'll have the Sports Bash Media poll question, and we'll have this day in sports history. And we did it on the pre-show, but I'll do it again right now. A good morning to Vinny Tickets.
Good morning, Peter. How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good. Lots going on, a lot of work. I ended last night. Actually tonight, I end a 7-day run of working at WFAN, and it took me away from the show a couple of days last week, but it's a little bit exhausting, but a lot of fun and a lot of good times with the family over the weekend. And we have a big week coming up this week, so we're going to Jets training camp tomorrow, and then on Thursday is a huge day. I don't know if there's ever been a bigger day in our family's history, but not only is it the wedding anniversary of my wife Cheryl and I, but we'll be spending our wedding anniversary on Thursday taking Bradley to college at Western Connecticut State University on Thursday morning.
Yeah, so
first time I'm going through it, so like I'm starting to get,
I was just going to tell you that
Cheryl and me we've had conversations about this. We knew this day was coming. We thought it was going to be a couple of weeks ago, and then, like yada, 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 we had to switch schools. And so now it's Western Connecticut State, and going up there on Thursday to report for training camp for football. We've had these conversations, not sure what kind of emotions we're going to be going through on Thursday.
Yeah, I remember it last year like it was yesterday. Everything goes pretty well. You get kind of busy moving in, getting the room set up, running back and forth to the store. The only tough part is when you pull away.
Yeah.
That was the only really hard part, is giving that hug goodbye and then pulling away. It's really, it's you leave a part of you, someone that has been in your life every day of your life. Mm-hmm. And, they go away. They take 2 days, 3 days a week if they go away. But you are literally leaving a part of your heart and soul. When you leave them at that school, you're leaving a part of you behind. And it's kind of an empty feeling. It's really tough to put into words, but be prepared.
I know I'm going to be a mess. If I'm a mess, I'm sure my wife's going to be a mess too, because
who's more emotional, you or Cheryl?
You know what? I do not slack in the emotion department. I really don't. I will tell you that when Bradley got picked to play in the USA football bowl game a number of years ago, we went to Canton, Ohio, and he's got USA on his jersey. I mean, this is my little kid that, grew up starting at 4 years old playing football, and he's running out on the field through the USA football helmet onto the field at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, and he's wearing USA on his jersey. And I'm sitting there with my wife, with Cheryl, with Jared, and I am holding it in. I am literally I am about ready to just bawl watching this. But they got to the national anthem. The game is starting. Everything was fine. I am holding this in. Like, if you're driving 5 hours without going to the bathroom and you're holding it in because you're making great time and you don't want to stop because you're making good time, I am literally holding in the tears.
Great analogy,
right,
by the way.
Right. Yeah. And I am so close to bawling. Game is over. They're having a celebration on the field. And I lean over to Cheryl and I said, I have to go to the bathroom. I did have to go to the bathroom, but I really had to go to let it all out. And I went to the bathroom. Not only did I go to the bathroom, but I went to the bathroom and I let it all loose, everything that I had been holding in for 2.5 hours. So I have to imagine that Thursday is probably going to be a very, very similar feeling.
Yeah,
because it's not a sad moment.
There is some sadness to it,
sadness
Peter,
to it because
but it's a nice moment. It's a great family moment. It's a great experience.
And we're going to see him in a couple of weeks because Western Connecticut State's first game of the season is on Saturday, September 7th against the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy right here on Long Island. So it won't be long before we see him again.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. You'll see. It's going to go fine. He'll do great. He's a wonderful kid. And
sometimes.
He's going to flourish. He's going to do great there.
It is time for the Sports Bash Flash. It is brought to you by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, where every customer is considered family. The Embassy Diner is located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Mention Sports Bash and get a free dessert with your meal. We lead off in Seattle, where the Mets finally scored a run, but it was not nearly enough in a 12-1 loss to the Mariners. They finish off a 3-game sweep. Luis Severino took the loss, 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, and the only Mets offense came on a Jeff McNeil home run. Mets are off today, and they'll open a series with the A's Tuesday at Citi Field. Now to Yankee Stadium, where the Yankees were clinging to an 8-7 lead in the 9th inning.
Here comes the 3-2. Ground ball to second. Glaber to first. Got it! In time! And somehow, some way, the New York Yankees survived the 9th inning.
That was Craig Carton on WFAN. The Yankees built an 8-3 lead. They hold on to beat the Rangers 8-7 in the rubber game of the weekend series. They move into a tie for first place with the Orioles in the AL East. Juan Soto, 2 home runs. He now has 30. Went back-to-back with Aaron Judge in the 7th inning. Judge hit his 42nd. Giancarlo Stanton his 20th. And Clay Holmes, our friend Clay Holmes, survived a shaky 9th inning for his 25th save of the season, and the Yankees open up a series with the White Sox tonight in Chicago. By the way, we've been talking about Vinny and his family going to the Yankee game in legend seats on Saturday. You weren't the only legend that was visiting Yankee Stadium on Saturday. Did you hear about this?
She was right next to me.
Really?
If that's who you're talking about.
Caitlin Clark. Great basketball, great. Now, unbelievable.
By the way, have you seen her up close?
Not up close.
Okay.
No.
Literally was as far as you are from me. My kids asked her for a picture. Let's not get into how that went.
Wow.
I don't have a picture on my phone.
Did her handler get in the way? Is that what happened?
There was someone there with her, but I will say this. It was probably a little overwhelming for her. I think she was up in a suite, but she came down to the Legend area to eat. I will say this, much taller than I thought that she looks on TV, and muscular.
Yeah.
The definition that she had, I was pretty impressed with that as well.
Well, I gave Chris a photo that the Yankees put out on social media on Saturday. It's a picture of Caitlin Clark and Aaron Judge standing next to each other in the Yankees clubhouse. And if you look at this picture, I don't know if you saw this at all during the course of the weekend, but 2 phenomenal athletes in their individual sports. And Aaron Judge, and you said Caitlin Clark is taller than you thought she was. And you have to see this picture that we're showing online right now for people watching on Facebook and YouTube about how Aaron Judge just like skies over her. Yeah. Just skies over her. It's unbelievable.
How tall is she? She's got to be 5'9", 5'10".
I would think so, right? So Aaron Judge is what, 6'7"?
6'7".
6'7". And she's fine. So it's obviously but it's just to see these two, it's amazing. You see these 2 phenomenal athletes right next to each other. One is like so much taller than the other one. And that was an interesting picture. Also,
I wanted to get to, did you see the last play of the game last night for the Yankee game?
Yeah, with Glaber Torres, he fell down.
Okay. I didn't, I'm watching it.
Imagine Clay Holmes gets himself into trouble and is about to get himself out of trouble. And if Glaber Torres screwed that up, could you believe that?
You see, he fell down as he was throwing. And I says, oh my goodness,
he's going to throw
this away. I was wondering if anyone else saw that. I'm glad.
At Giants training camp, first-round pick, wide receiver Malik Neighbors suffered what is believed to be a minor left ankle sprain, but it's not supposed to be too big of a deal. At the Olympics, the USA women's basketball team survived a scare, beat France 67-66 to win their 8th straight gold medal. Did you see the end of that game?
I sure did.
Now, this poor girl from France. Now, listen, we're all happy that the United States won, but they make a great play to get the ball down there, and literally, she was 2 inches away from that being a three-pointer. And people will say, well, why couldn't she take a step back? I mean, the ball is inbounded with 3 seconds to go. The fact that she got that shot off and sunk it is amazing. But and now she has to live with that for the rest of her life.
Yeah, you know what? Silvas aren't that bad.
No, silver. It's kind of like sitting in the second row in the legend seats, or the first row in the legend seats,
Yeah,
right? What's the difference between
absolutely.
gold and silver? Well, what's the price difference between gold and silver?
Yes.
That's the difference.
Endorsements.
But the United States, 1 point better. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 or win by 50. It's still the same gold medal. Well, when we come back, we have lots to do. We'll have our Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. We'll have the one that we gave you on Friday. We'll have a new one for today. We'll have this day in sports history. And we'll take a look a little bit more at the difference between first and second row. Maybe we'll talk more about that, some other things going on in the world of sports. It's all coming up when Sports Bash continues right after this. Hi, I'm Peter Schwartz.
And I'm Vinny Tickets.
We want to take a moment to talk about our fantastic sponsor, the Embassy Diner.
Embassy Diner has been a beloved staple in the restaurant industry for over 50 years. And the great thing about it is when you walk through the door, you're not a customer, you are family. Every visit promises to be filled with warmth, love, and respect.
And here's an extra treat. If you mention Sports Bash during your visit, you enjoy a free dessert on the Embassy Diner.
Come on down to the Embassy Diner, where great food and great company are always on the menu.
Visit the Embassy Diner located at 4280 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage. Peter Schwartz, Vinny Tickets, back on Sports Bash presented by TicketBash.com as we await the return of our radio audience. So the experience that you had with your family on Saturday, much like the one that I had with my family a few weeks ago, those are the types of things where TicketBash.com comes in handy because you can create those kind of experiences for people that it could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and that's something that TicketBash.com can make happen.
We sure can. The slogan for TicketBash.com is "Memories Made Affordable." Maybe legends really don't fit into that category, but I will tell you this. I could tell you that compared to anyone else's pricing, when you add all those fees onto the prices on a legend seat go up by a couple of $100. You never have to pay those fees at ticketbash.com.
We're going to welcome back our radio audience in about 20 seconds. 631-451-1039 is going to be the number to call. And legend seats at Yankee Stadium, there's something similar at Citi Field as well. Are they like the Clover box seats?
Well, the Clovers are one, but the one with food and drink included is Hyundai Club.
Welcome back our radio audience. Welcome back to Sports Bash presented by TicketBash.com. 631-451-1039 is the number to call. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined as always by Vinny Tickets. In a few moments, we're going to welcome in Whiz Kid Vinny with this day in sports history. And obviously, we're a couple of days away from Stump the Whiz on Wednesday. And Vinny was able to get, you were out on Wednesday, but Vinny was able to get the question in 33 seconds.
What was the question?
The question was, let's see, Wiz, let's see if Vinny knows the answer to this.
Come on. There's no chance I know.
You're a Jets fan. And listen, I'm a Jets fan, and I have a certain snapshot in my mind of Jets history. And if you watch the Jets and you know the history, a really good Jet fan probably knows the answer to this question, or maybe not. But Wiz knew the answer to it. I was shocked I was not shocked that he got it so fast. I was shocked. I was not shocked that he got it. I was shocked how he got it so fast. So we all know Super Bowl III, Joe Namath leads the Jets to the Super Bowl III championship. But what would have happened, God forbid, in that game if Joe Namath got hurt? What would have happened if Joe Namath, just for whatever reason, couldn't continue in the game and had to be replaced? Who was the backup quarterback on the Super Bowl III Jets?
Well, that's a really good question, Wiz.
Should I give you 2 minutes on the clock?
No, don't give me 2 minutes on the clock.
Stump the tickets.
Yeah,
Stump
don't give me 2 minutes on the clock. I acquiesce already.
You acquiesce. The correct answer, Wiz, was?
Babe Pirelli, Patriots legend.
Yes, and he was the backup quarterback, and he wore number 15.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
what?
Right.
Nah.
No, you weren't going to say that at all.
Yeah.
So, but he got that. So listen, DM your questions for Wednesday to the Sports Bash Media Instagram, Facebook, and X/Twitter pages. And if we pick your question and you stump the Wiz, we'll have a fabulous prize for you on Wednesday. Could be tickets, could be something. We never know until we have that pre-show meeting what it's going to be. But definitely just the aura of being able to stump the magnificent Wiz on Wednesday. And he started out slow, but he has picked it up.
Is he 8 for 12 or 7?
Is it, what is it now?
7 out of 12.
And I think he's got like 6 of his last 7. So he's on a roll after starting out slow.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Wiz.
Yeah, so, he's got that brain, functioning in the right way. And listen, if you think you can come up with a question that can stump him, send it to us, Sports Bash Media, Facebook, Instagram, and X/Twitter. It is time for the Sports Bash Media poll question of the day. We post a new poll question every weekday on the Sports Bash Media X/Twitter page. First, the results of Friday's poll question. And we asked, who is the most important player in New York sports right now? And you think about what Aaron Judge has been doing. You think about what Aaron Rodgers could do for the Jets if he stays healthy, and what Jalen Brunson has meant for the Knicks and now being named the team captain. And the winner of the poll was Aaron Judge with 37%, Jalen Brunson second, 31%, Aaron Rodgers third with 26%. I thought Aaron Rodgers would get a little bit more of the vote.
Well, I guess because the season hasn't started yet. We only saw him play 4 plays as a Jet. So
we're going on reputation. The assumption is that if he's healthy, and you look at the team the Jets have put together, if he's healthy, this could be a very special year for the Jets.
Of course it could be. But the way I looked at the question was, if you took each one of these guys out of the lineup for their team, which one of these players would have the most devastatingly negative effect by taking them out of the lineup? And I would say, as we look at this, the Jets played decent football last year. But if you took out Judge or Brunson from those 2 teams, I think you have and we did last year for Rodgers. But I would say the other 2, if you took them out of the lineup, I would say it would have a lot more of a negative effect on those teams' programs than it would by having Aaron Rodgers.
I can make the argument that it's Aaron Rodgers, because when you look at they lost him 4 plays into the season. The Jets finished 7-10, and there's probably 3 or 4, maybe more of those games where the Jets lost by a touchdown. And you think, if Aaron Rodgers is playing, the Jets probably win 12 or 13 games last year.
Ooh, that's a big statement, Peter.
I
bleed green too,
right.
but
the Jets might win 12 or 13 games last year if Aaron Rodgers is healthy and playing on top of his game.
You really are a Jet fan.
By the way, yes, I love the Jets, but they suck me in every year, and I'm going to be excited. We're going tomorrow. We got the VIP passes to go to Jets training camp tomorrow and get to see some of the players afterward. And it's great. They look at that big deep pass that Aaron Rodgers threw to Garrett Wilson. It's going to be great. We're going to win 12, 13 games with the AFC East. Then you just know something's going to happen.
Yeah,
you just know something's going to happen. Yeah. But let's get to today's poll question. Los Angeles is going to be hosting. By the way, great job by Paris over the last 2 weeks. Wonderful spectacle. The closing ceremonies last night, I caught a little bit of it. They did a wonderful job, and then they passed the baton over to Los Angeles, who will host the Summer Olympics in 2028, and they'll do a great job. A lot of great,
I guess Snoop will have a big part in L.A.
And L.A. They, all these countries that get the Olympics, they have to build a lot of the facilities that the Olympics are in. They do not have to build one thing in L.A. at all. They have all the facilities are already there. Now they're going to have swimming in SoFi Stadium, which I think is going to be unbelievable. Basketball is going to be in the Clippers' new arena. The gymnastics will be in what do they call the Staples Center now? Wiz, what's it? Crypto.com?
Crypto.com arena.
Yeah.
It's very, very clunky, I know.
Right, yeah. So I'll still call it the Staples Center. So they get the Olympics in 2028. Here's the question for today. Would New York/New Jersey be a good fit for a future Summer Olympics? They tried getting it a number of years ago. Would New York, New Jersey? So it's very simple. Answer is yes or answer is no. What do you think?
Well, listen, New York is a mecca for sports. I don't know that we have the infrastructure, but I could tell you that New York is a destination place for people all over the world.
And we have all the facilities. It would be the same as LA. There'd be nothing you have to build.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know what other sports. I guess for breakdancing, you don't have to worry about it.
They're getting rid of breakdancing.
Yeah,
it's gone. And they're going to add flag football in 4 years. They're going to be adding lacrosse,
right?
And baseball and softball are returning in 4 years, which I think is going to be great. I didn't catch where they're going to have the baseball. I imagine Dodger Stadium will have the baseball games. Maybe the softball will be in where the Angels play in Anaheim.
Yeah.
But that's going to be great. But I think, listen, I think New York would do a great job hosting it.
I agree with that.
But here's the thing, too. I just saw this morning. In LA, in 4 years, you cannot drive your car for 2 weeks. You have to take mass transportation.
Really?
They put in this thing where you cannot drive your car.
You already can't drive your car in LA as it is.
Yeah, but you're
quicker to walk.
You're not going to be able to drive your car at all in LA in 4 years.
That's pretty crazy.
Do you think they can get away with that here in New York?
No.
It is time for this day in sports history. We apologize to we didn't leave him enough time, but he does. Yeah, you have a couple of minutes, minute and a half.
You know,
and you weren't even ready. So
no, I was ready. I was waiting for you guys.
There you go. A minute and a half or so.
Well, you speak about the Clippers on this day in 2021. They gave a 4-year extension to Kawhi Leonard, who's the face of their franchise, as we both know. 2-time Finals MVP with the San Antonio Spurs in 2014 and the Toronto Raptors in 2019. And now they're entering this, finally, after 25 years, their own stadium.
Have you seen what that place is going to look like?
So
the Intuit Dome.
It's
I
fantastic.
mean, you see that scoreboard? First of all, it looks like all the seats are going to be literally right on top of the court, and that scoreboard is unbelievable.
One of my favorite aspects that does not get enough attention is that there's more bathrooms than any other arena in the NBA. I think there's 2 or 3 times as many bathrooms. Steve Ballmer wanted this. The legendary Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft and of course the owner of the Clippers, wanted this so that way you can get to the action faster.
Absolutely, that place is going to be phenomenal. It's going to open this season for the LA Clippers. So coming up the rest of this week here on Sports Bash, Free Ticket Tuesday coming up tomorrow. On Wednesday we have Stump the Wiz, and then on Friday we have a special guest on the show. On Friday, Ian O'Connor, the great New York area sports writer, columnist, has a great new book out about Aaron Rodgers. It's called Out of the Darkness. It's an unauthorized biography, but he spent 2 hours interviewing Aaron Rodgers for the book. So that's going to be an interesting conversation with Ian O'Connor on Friday's show.
Yeah, that should be great.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. Another big week of shows here on Sports Bash, presented by TicketBash.com, where you never pay a service fee. That's all for this edition. We're sponsored by the Embassy Diner in Bethpage, Dr. Anthony Ippolito at Chiropractic Care Plus, the Marty Lyons Foundation, and Collaborate Studios. For our entire crew, I'm Peter Schwartz saying thank you for watching and listening. Sports Bash returns tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I've got an appointment with Dr. Summeroff tomorrow, so it'll be Vinny Tickets and Whiz Kid Vinny hosting the show. I'll be back on Wednesday. I never want to miss Stump the Wiz, so there was no way. The schedule has to work out. I cannot miss Stump the Wiz, and we're back on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.